Welcome back, everybody. Let's continue. Making our way home, and then we'll get this lot sorted and then decide what we're off to next. I think industrial next, to look for tools. Maybe Green Mountain to get nails. Oh, there's not nails there, there's only code locks. Hope everyone's okay out there. Second stream of the day. We'll sort out these rags. Get the car of giving in case it's got anything. Sometimes. Okay. Something like that. That's all the best we can do with it on this server. So, first things, that could be worn. So that's going to become rags. They're not. That's rags. That's rags. That's rags. That's rags. They're all not. That's good. Spare. That's rags to be. That's coming in here. In case we get the other bits that we need for it. A spare first aid shite. More than we need, obviously. Spare fishing lure. Thank you very much. No, spare fishing lure. Odds and sods. A spare one of those. So let's move them down to here. Put the boat with them. That's got that separate. We need a tyre repair kit for that as well. Probably move that up to there. Other spare map there. Well, our supply is certainly coming on. That's doable. Not too far to go either. Who that we could do in Balota? Hissy. Dolnichi. Pick. Alter. Alter. Hissy. That's not so bad. Might drop this ammo off. Stop bouncing because of that. Thank you. Fucking ammo everywhere coming out of our ears, haven't we? Right, we need rags to start with. So let's get this lot made into rags. Might go down and do both keys at Ballotta. Clearing 2 keys at once would be massive. As in replacing our clothing now would be massive as well. Because what we intend to do is replace what we've got that's ruined. Then probably going to do both Ballotta keys at once because they're both not secure. We've got a big rucksack, plenty of space to store whatever's in there. Which would then help us. So we're streaming for another maybe 3 hours, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stopping for some food, then coming back and doing whatever this evening. But today is mostly a day of Daisy. Is how I'm feeling at the moment. But also might give us a chance to get some more mags as well. Fair amount of prep to do here before we're ready to go, but that's that lot. Right, what are we going to put on to start with? Hunter pants. We don't know what cam pattern they are. We're going to keep them. We're going to change our top. Right, that's ruined. That can despawn, don't care about it. Where have we got sewing kits? Where are the sewing kits hidden to? Ah, we've got rags in there. Okay, let's find these sewing kits and start Operation Repair. And repair the trousers as well. Got a message to check. That's that one done. They are worn. Good. Let's put that away. Stick away. I know I'm hot. Spare trousers. Ready for future use if needed. That's good. Right, what was next? So keys next. Boots are okay. That's that. I need to drop that ammo off. I probably need to take some spare 5.56 with me. That's that done. I don't need 2 maps. Let's drop the spare map off. Need a better leather repair. Where we're going should have a leather repair kit. Right, what we're taking, we're going ATC at Ballotta and the other Ballotta, the covert base at Ballotta. So we're going to go and do both because that solves that problem. What else do I need? I've got gun. Oh, I don't need to blaze. Anywhere I can put it? The answer to that is probably no. No, let's unload it. Put that on the bed for the moment. It's not. Actually, let's swap the Vicar for that. Stick the Vicar or fit into a case somewhere. That's that solved. Right, that's that and that done. Do we have any spare food to take with us? Or are we going to fish? I think we're going to fish. Let's leave that one behind. Take that one. So on the way back we'll fish. Actually, that takes up less space there. That's that solved. We've got water, we've got meds, we've got a map, we've got emergency knives, we've got a backup pistol, and we've got an AK. Let's set our objective and get on it. Do I have any RVs that are stuck on here that I need to get rid of? No. So we're going down to Ballotta. We've got 2 objectives to do at Ballotta. We've got one in this area and one in this area. So we're going to come straight down the map because that makes the most sense, and then come across the bottom. So down to about here somewhere. And then we'll make our way across. Okay, it's coming into night time, which is good. I think we've got everything we need. Emergency food today will be a can of Coke. I've got boot repair kit. We should get a root repair kit down there. We've got an AK. We've got spare ammo. I think we're good to go, guys. Let's go. Door was shut, wasn't it? There's only 2 doors. I need to check these things. And we've still got a code lock on it. We haven't been raided, have we? Because you'd never know with a hacking tablet. It would just be that the code lock was missing. Nothing on me that I shouldn't have. No. Backup pistol there. Should all hell break loose. Okay. Let's go get some loot. Obviously, we need nails desperately. And as much as I'd like guns in them, I'd rather have nails. Or food. I don't even overly want code locks. Nails we need. I now need to build airlocks. I need to actually check my base building rules as well before we start building. To see if I can do tunnels. I think the rule is a single player should be able to raid, not the width of the raid tunnel. And no glitching. Punch cards. We'd take some punch cards. That would be useful. Because we've got a lot of secure keys that we need punch cards for. Oh, for helicopters. If we get a bear, we'll probably just surrender ourselves and let it knock us. Because I don't want to waste the ammo. Wolves obviously will shoot. Could do with an MVG head strap, so we've got a set of MVGs. Or a better helmet, because at the moment we're living with a wolf helmet. Fuck. Gas, gas, gas. Yes, I have some zombies that explode on killing in a gas cloud. That was one of them. But it's random. So next time you kill an identical zombie, you might not get a gas cloud. And some explode with a flashbang, which then knocks you. So I'm an evil, mean goblin. I wonder if how I trigger the gas is I have them spawn in badly damaged, but I don't have any spawn in the world. If I had the gas grenades spawn in the world, military camps would randomly get gas clouds in them. That would be interesting. There'd be little pockets of gas all over the place. That's very interesting. And a whole new level of pain. I'll look into that later. And that's also gas on the outer edge of the map, you see there? So all the way around the outer edge of the map, we've got gas to stop people using debug. I did once have a player that messaged me and he's like, I just killed a zombie and it gassed me. I was like, yeah, and they were like, well, that doesn't seem really fair. I mean, and I went, well, it fits into the law. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, well, 12 years ago, that guy was carrying gas canisters and turned into a zombie. They'd be really unstable after 12 years. And the guy was like, I can't play your server, and left. Right. Like, yeah. You have to get used to how Goblin thinks. So that interesting big building. You don't expect that to be there, do you? Where did that come from? We're not going there today. Hope everyone's all right out there today. Saturday afternoon UK. I suppose arguably Saturday morning US. And Saturday very early morning Pacific US. Irish did pop into chat when I was on first thing this morning. I suppose he was probably going to bed. Or was it last night? I forget. It all rolls into one after a while. Where are we? We are... Right again. We are there. There we are. We could probably cut our journey down. Just go straight for that forestry block there. Quite an interesting fact. I do not know where anyone else's bases are on the server unless they open a ticket and ask for help. And that's only at that point do I know where their bases are. So I have a rule in place that I won't raid anyone's base that I am aware of by ticketed aware. And that's not a reason for every player to open a ticket to me and call me to their base for some fictitious reason, because they'd soon be leaving the server. And if we get the ability of raiding and we find a base that I'm not aware of, we will raid. Also, if I find someone's base and then afterwards they open a ticket, I've already found their base beforehand, so raiding is allowed. But I'll always try to, if a player opens I've got a problem, they can prove the problem. If I can teleport stuff to them without physically visiting, I'll try and do it that way as much as I can. Because I want to be able to play the server and make content as well. Gonna need a drink soon. Our biggest problem is we don't have purification tablets, so we're relying on wells for everything. We'll probably use a can of Coke. It'll give us energy as well, just a little bit, and it'll help us sleep. That's our footwear. So yeah, we're streaming for until about, it's 2:30 now, till about 4:30, 4:45. Then I'm going to stop for some food, and then I'm going to come back on probably tonight, because tomorrow I won't be in Dayz. I'm back to work Monday, so I might not be on Monday night either, so I've got a lot to catch up on work-wise. I'm trying, from a Dayz perspective, I'll be streaming Dayz on the Goblinz server, and for the foreseeable future that's all I'll be streaming Dayz wise, and then I'll be making content in Scum and playing Scum, maybe making content in Grey Zone, don't know yet. So there'll be videos coming out on Scum. The first one is out there. There will be some videos coming out on Dayz once I get around to making them, to do with this server, how to base build, how to raid, that sort of thing, because players obviously want to know that and how it works. What I really need to do is make myself a walled compound that I can film in, that other players can't get into. We're going to check the farm. There might be nails in here. It's unlikely, but it's worth a check. I think a long time ago, Cookie and I were looking at living at this farm. Box of 2.2. I'm not overly interested in 2.2 unless I can get a 2.2 pistol. 2-2 rifles don't interest me in game. He's got a chance of a flag on him. Yes, and food. Worth it for the trip then, wasn't it? Because the base building on here, you get easy flagpole that's small, but you don't get a flag with it. So having spare flags is really useful. Oh, a couple of carriages fallen off the end. I didn't know that on the bridge, or something's fallen off the end. Do with another hammer, because then we can make a spare sharpening stone, because we don't have the tools at the moment for base building. We do, but they're nearly ruined, and we've got no way of repairing them any further. And I'm making the choice to patrol with the 101 rather than the RSAS. So I've only got one RSAS. I've got 55, 65, 75, 75 rounds. Why are we carrying through 762? I suppose we unloaded something, didn't we? On the server, if you want ghillies, you can make them, or hit as convoy. Convoys will have ghillies on them, and so will airdrops. Sorry, heli crashes. And you get ghillie slots, so you can still wear a rucksack even though you've got a ghillie. Need to go firm, so I just need to fill my vape. Hi, red and green. How are you? I'm good, thank you. Hi, Restless. How are you, mate? We're off to do 2 keys in 1 hit. With a trusty 101. And my wolf ghillie. Restless is the media officer for Goblinz. So produces content on the server. Well worth a follow. And makes some really good content, even if he does end up getting shot by Goblin. And robbed. but he's the official media officer for Goblinz. Won't be night time forever, guys. I don't yet have an MVG strap, so my MVGs I've left at camp. Yeah, that would happen. That would happen if you went in there without ammo. Without enough ammo. Yeah. Which key did you have? Did you have the normal boxes? There's lots of different... You have to really explore. And if you have the end game, you have to go to the castle bit. And explore the towers. I just had my first exploding gas zombie about 15 minutes ago. Haven't had one of those in a long time. Right, we are now there. Oh, we'll soon be there. Not that much further to go. Right, I can bring that to here. We'll do the ATC first, and then we'll finish off with the covert area. ATC, isn't it? ATC Ballotta. Puppies. So those 6 crates you found would have been opened with a lockpick, a crowbar, a sledgehammer, or 1 key. The crates you didn't find were the endgame crates. Which at the moment is not... The keys are spawning in the world, and I have to sort that out for the end game, where I don't want them spawning in the world. I only want them linked to a route. But every time I try and get it working, it's not working correctly. So yeah, I need to solve it, and I haven't worked out how yet. Okay, I opened one with a sledgehammer. Yeah. So the crates you found were the easier crates with the stat general loot in, nothing amazing. Because you can get in there with a punch card and lots of ammo, but come away with clothing, meds. It's random as well what it gives you in the box from a list, a pool list. And if you had a couple of sledgehammers or two lockpicks, you could do 2 crates at once. But for the October wipe, I'm going to redo how loot crates work, potentially. Slightly. You have to play with it a bit. The extra loot pack, the extra loot keys that we've got, these ones here, and that one actually, to be perfectly honest, I don't like, because that mod gives us all the stupid sounds. And we don't want the sounds. So I need to take that mod out, which means I lose the amount of keys I'm able to use, which means I've got to rethink how the crates will work. So I'll write the endgame crates to start with, and then whatever keys and crates I'm left with, write the rest with that. Yes, you were on the right track. 100% you were on the right track. And endgame gives you some good quality weapons and the ability to raid. So worth doing, even as somebody that's not base building, just being able to have access to a tablet and so that you can then use your batteries on to... Okay, I think I know I can solve the key problem. I can solve it. Ish. Yeah, I can move them into a... I can move the keys that shouldn't be spawning into the world into contaminated zones only. So that way, you'll only ever get them if you've got a full NBC suit. So it will slow people down getting to endgame unless they've got a full suit. Or they follow through the correct route. But because I won't wipe the server, if I do that, it's going to take a couple of days for the keys to despawn and move. But I'll do that later. I'll add it to my list of things to do before the weekend's up. Because I'm back to work Monday, so there'll be less support. Okay, we're nearly at Ballotta. Oh, this is where I wanted to live. This is what I was trying to find, this place. So it's there. Yeah, this is where I was going to live. But I could never remember where it was. Yeah, I did find it was odd that I was able to find the key where I did. Yeah. Yeah, you shouldn't have done, is my answer to that question. But I've been having problems trying to work out how to solve it, and I think I just have. I'll move it to contaminated zones. So it'll still spawn in the box that you get before then. Fine. But you won't be able to find it as ground loot once it's got to maximum seconds and disappeared. As I said all along, each wipe running up to Christmas is really me getting ready for the after Christmas wipe, where we do the better version of all this. And that will be so much easier because for a month, up to a month, I can have nobody on the server, a month and a half realistically, where I'm just building it and testing it and building it and testing it and making sure the things spawn correctly and sorting it all out and getting the loot to start running correctly. So, and then when I decide I'm 100% there, I can go live just by taking the password off, giving everybody the new address and turning the old server off. Job done. It's like I'd like to have loot crates in police stations, and I'd like the AI policeman after Christmas to carry the keys for them. So you'll have to find a police event, kill the AI policeman to get the key for a police crate. Yeah? And then you'll need to kill the AI farmer to get a key for a farm crate, which will have seeds in and stuff like that. Right, ATC, here we come. Now my normal... Oh, server crash. Major freeze. That was a major spike. Someone's either got a buried stash near there, or it was a pure and simple data spike. Might have been a crash actually on the server. We've been having little crashes on the server. Right, free up some space before we go in. You don't. It sits in the background. I get crash reports in the background, so a crash happens, but it recovers and carries on. But I'm getting major crash reports in the background. We had about 3 days of no crash reports, and then they started again. And it's linked to players doing something. I did initially think we had somebody cheating on the server, but the player doing something is one of our regulars, and they wouldn't cheat. We are, aren't we? It's happening. I know exactly what you mean. It's starting to build up. We're getting some duos on here. We're getting some new solos. People are playing on a regular basis more than just the old faithful. New people are coming on. Occasionally they're chatting in chat, but they're spending time on here, and the numbers are building. But I do push it a lot. Probably every 2 or 3 days I'm pushing it on 5 different Facebook gaming groups, talking about it. When people are asking, I'm after a server to play that's PvP but not sweaty. I'm telling them about this one. Or someone said I'm after a duo server that's PvE. And I went, look, we're not PvE, but this is what we've got. The guy did come on here, played for 3 hours, hasn't come back, but they gave it a go. I'd never do a PvE server. There's not enough risk for me. And I'd never be able to do something that I wouldn't play. Well, we don't want the 2-2. Take the 12 gauge, take that, take that. 308 mag with 120 rounds of 308. We'll have that. Another RSAS mag. A Glock drum mag. We'll take that. 50 rounds of 12 gauge. We don't want the 2-2. We'll take the water. Is that one done? We came here for 2 crates, so we'll do the second crate as well. Yeah, the duo said hello in server chat last night. That was cool to see. It's awesome, isn't it? I don't think going to duo was a bad thing. I did initially think it would be, but it's grown the server. It really has grown the server, so I can't complain. I had reservations about it, obviously, because we've always been solo, apart from one little bit where we tried duo in the past that didn't work out. But this time it seems to have, people seem to have, the server's evolved enough. The map is the experience people are liking. Right then. That's the next one. What we got out of this lot is worth it for the ammo over everything else. I've got another RSAS at home, so another mag for the RSAS and spare ammo is massive. Yeah. I was watching solos. I woke up in the night about 3 in the morning and I logged onto the server, went into God mode and watched on the map, and I was watching duos work as pairs around the map, and I watched a duo moving around the map and a solo player, won't say who any of them were, moving, and they missed each other by 10 meters in the woods. If the solo had been 10 meters the other side, he'd have bumped into a duo in the middle of the woods. It was like amazing to watch. They were so close to having a firefight in the dark in the woods. It's just sort of dark now. It wasn't like dark, but got no stamina now. I've got all this ammo. It helps, doesn't it? It's not perfect, but it helps. I'd like it to be longer, but it's not me that wrote the mod. I like the summer mod, and that's where the long grass comes from. I always have done. And then you add in all the edits, it makes it a different world. My problem always with all the maps is who's cutting the grass? So all the grass should be long on every server. Why am I holding it in my right hand while I'm twisting with my left hand? Yeah. I can live with it, I suppose. I suppose on most servers, you open it in about 10 seconds or a second, so you never notice. Sun's come up. More worried. You're massively worried. Time to go home. So we've got 3 arsasses now. We're probably at the point where we can start destroying weapons we don't need. But we've got no stamina to get home with, as you can see. And we got a fucking long walk. But me, I've got some gear. Luckily, I've got a spare Bergen now I can put into storage. We see a cow. Can we carry any of it? If we get rid of the NBC stuff, I suppose. Think about food on the way home. I think as we use water bottles up, we'll be throwing them away. That much of a sprint. No sprint, sprint, no sprint. This is going to be worth it, though. Might have to unload some mags. That might solve some of the problem. That mag's bugged then. Forget it. So's that. Oh, it's that for that weapon that, yeah, needs to go. I'll take a snapshot of what's not working afterwards. Actually, I want to keep the drum mag, don't I? The Glock mag. I'll get those mags out of spawn. Yeah, it just isn't working. I agree. But we're not, next wipe, we're not going to have this mod pack. It's not had any updates for a while. So we're going to go to a weapon mod pack that has updates. We might not use all the weapons, but we're going to go to something that has updates. I might have to go through the weapons and work out what fits into a vanilla world and what doesn't. But I need something that's updated on a regular basis whenever a patch comes out. We're doing all this. We have no storage in camp to store any of this shit. Well, we do, I suppose, because we can stick that into a... and give ourselves 120 slots to store rucksack, to store weapons in. And the NBC trousers will store me something. But no running home today, that's for sure. Yeah, and I do like them. But I want something that's got the RSAS in because I love that weapon platform. I don't know which weapon pack. I'm looking at them. I don't want it to be too big gigabyte wise. If we're only having like 10 weapons out of it, what I don't want is like a 3 gig weapon pack. I might look at a weapon and armor pack. I quite like some of the armor packs that have pouches, because it's more shit for people to collect and worry about. And it's more loot on the ground, as long as they're not too OP. And I don't mind if they're higher tiered, as long as it doesn't like you, as long as you don't stick a magazine pouch on and you can hold 25,000 items inside it. I know that's exaggerating slightly, but you know what I mean. I still want it, the 120 slot rucksack, I want to be the big item that we have on the server. Unless they have their own rucksack pack within their armor and weapon pack, in which case we could eliminate the large rucksack we've got now and have someone else's large rucksack. But that's for October. Throwing that away didn't give us much, did it? So we might end up with something like expansion weapons. We know it will have the updates, and then eliminate the 338 out of it, but we don't get an RSAS then. So the pack I would like, the trouble is it has 23,000 lines of code, and I'm not in the mood to edit that and try and work out. I'd need a way of spawning in every weapon to work out its caliber, which is a lot of work. So maybe one of the smaller weapon packs that's got everything listed within the mod title, that's having reasonably regular updates, is what we'll go for. I was bored. And this RSAS is so silenced. We've got no climbing ability today. Hi, Chuckles. I think I'll be in Scum later, mate. I won't be streaming it. I'll just be playing. But we're a bit... got to get gear home. Moment. But if you're about, it's now 3 o'clock, so, or 20 past 3, so in about 5 hours time, yeah, about 5 hours time, I'll be on Scum, on the server, learning as I go. So if you're in, join us in chat, and we can meet up and I can add you to the team. Mate, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. We all need those moments. I've got to finish, because every time I'm on leave, I watch a complete series from beginning to end. And I'm on series 11, episode 5 of Big Bang. So before I go back to work Monday, I need to finish Big Bang. Luckily, they're only 20 minutes long each, 17 minutes long. So I should be able to do it between now and tomorrow night. Love it. We need food. Luckily, we've got a little bit of rubbish on us. I'm going to need sleep by the time I get home with the amount of weight we're carrying. Not even halfway home. Probably do another complete water bottle. What do you reckon? Yeah, and then throw it away. So guys, I'll probably do up to the restart and then log. because that's 30 minutes time. Because then I can have a rest, eat some food, sort out some of the stuff that I've said I'll need to sort out for the server, do some research into a replacement weapons pack for the October wipe, because October's not that far away. First week in November is only 2 months away. And whichever pack I decide on, I can start writing the code early. Yes, Chuckles, that's a fair way of describing it. But I only stream because of Irish. It was Irish that got me making content. I was playing Fallout 76 as part of the Aristoric AA after I read an article about it. I've been playing 76 solo up to that point and joined their little group, and Irish asked me some questions about what it was like in the army to serve in certain places. So I answered him, and we struck up a friendship. And he used to stream, and he kept saying to me, you need to stream, you need to stream. You'd be good at streaming. You need to stream. And so, basically, I'll send you a link now, Restless. I'll put it in chat. I used to have the buttons, but they're not currently working, so I'm having to do them in a different way.
Oh, you're friendly.
This is Irish's. Yeah, so, and then he was streaming at the time on Mixer. So I was like, okay, I'll buy the stuff I need. So I bought a cheap webcam, and I got myself a light, which I've still got now. Webcam's gone. Prepared for what was to come. And just as I was about to go live, Mixer was binned off. So then everyone was migrated to Twitch. So I followed. I got Twitch to 370 followers. But I didn't like how, for me, Twitch felt too pressured. It was always encourage people to spend money, encourage people to spend money, is how I saw it all the time. It was all about get people to spend money. If you get them to spend enough and they sub to you enough, we'll push you higher up the algorithm. So you'll get more exposure. So you've got to get people spending money with you for us to push you further. So I left Twitch after getting very disillusioned with it. And went to Kick just as Kick started. And I was getting averages of 55 people per stream. I had the followers or the subs, whatever they called it, on there, and I was just about to hit their partnership level. And a week before, I had another week's worth of averages to hit partner on there, and they changed their algorithm. They changed their ruling for partners. They said, oh, everyone that's already got it keeps it, but everybody new to make partner, you need to do this. And it was unachievable for me. It was hard enough keeping 50 people per stream watching me. They suddenly were like, you need 200 people per stream, and you need to do it for 6 months or more, and then you can have partnership. And once you've got partnership, we will pay you to stream on our platform. If I'd started with Kick a week earlier, I'd be a partner on Kick now, and been paid to stream when I did stream. So I walked away, and I'd always had a YouTube account, but it's just been, I put up some shit little videos. I'd used it to sub to other people. I didn't really do anything with it. And it just sat there. And I had 50 subs, and it was 3 years ago now, because I was on leave, that I went, right, I'm going to stream to YouTube. And I put my first video, was it 3 years ago or 2 years ago? Maybe 2 years ago. I put my first video out, which was a Scum video, and started doing YouTube content. And here we are 2 years later, just under. I've gained another, whatever it is, 600 and something. 50, 60, 70, 86. So yeah, 638 subs. But I recognise that within Dayz, I've flatlined. I was growing at 30 a month. And that's now down to about 9, which is where the Scum, I started looking for something else to do on the channel to generate more subs. So from my perspective, Scum fits very well into that world. Because it needed to be a game, because other people will say to me, I'll open up a second YouTuber channel for different games because you're not a variety streamer. But actually on my YouTube, I say I stream survival games. So as long as it's a survival game that's quite hard, quite difficult, feels like Dayz, it should work. Though when I streamed sub the other night, I lost 5 subs in the week from people that were always Dayz followers, which was a shame. But I get it. I do understand. But I've now started to gain subs from the YouTube videos that I put out. So I put out one Scum video, and from that I started to gain subs from people watching that video, which I never had in Dayz. Subs were never generated from videos, but they are from Scum stuff. So that's why that's told me I need to make Scum content rather than stream it. And stream Dayz content rather than always make videos for me. That being said, there will be some videos coming. I need to do a base building video for Goblinz. I need to do a raiding video for Goblinz, and I need to do a recipe video. So if anyone's on this server and they need a flag, he now has a 50% chance of having a flag on him. No, not one today. And as you notice, the RSAS on here is not silenced, but it might as well be. So long term, Dayz as my streaming, but always streaming Goblinz, or for the foreseeable future. Scum videos only, because I think that it fits better into that. Let's go on an adventure. It's 2 hours. We managed to accomplish the following, and played in their single player mode. And then maybe in the future some grey zone, which will be PvE grey zone, because I'm not good enough to fight players at grey zone. I'm hardly good enough to fight bots. But again, that would be content. And I'd still like to do Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which I've got sat here. Stalker 2, which I've never completed. But rather than stream, that all needs to be recorded content that maybe I work through Stalker 2, play the whole game, right to end, record it in 2 hour slots, and then release it upload it all, have it sat on YouTube as private, all of it ready to go at 4K, and when I've got the whole series there, I then schedule it 1 episode a week on a Wednesday night for 30 weeks and let it go live. And then I can have it in the description, tune in this time next week for the next episode, sort of thing. And then I can just forget it, let it do its own thing. And then start on Kingdom, record from beginning to completing game, upload, prepare it all, link it all, put it in place, release it. And then when I can afford to, I want to invest in a HOTAS joystick. It didn't happen this time on leave because of my mobile phone dying on me and needing a replacement mobile very quickly. And then I'd like to do some Elite Dangerous content, because I like Elite Dangerous. At some point we'll be doing some Armour 3 content. I won't be doing Reforger. I'm not a fan of Reforger. I'm not anti it. I understand it's the future. But it's not me. And as for Dayz Reforger, that's really not me. I like my Dayz to be like this, not to be like Armour. I understand walking across the field is stupid, but also I'm a bush, and I've got a wolf head on, and people know they can't eat wolves anymore, so I'm probably safe. Touch wood. It's not like I can run anyway. If someone opens up, all I can do is hope to see them and return fire. But I'm really enjoying this server, Goblinz. It's really, this wipe I've enjoyed more than any other wipe. Oh, that's difficult. I don't have that much, if that makes sense. I don't buy the fast air stuff. I didn't buy the UN stuff or the peacekeeping stuff. I tended to buy some of the other stuff. But I haven't for a long time bought armor stuff. I mean, there is still an Armour 3 server that's running Dayz mod, and it would be really nice to do an evening on the Dayz mod on Armour 3, going back to everyone's roots, because I never played it back then. I only watched other people play it. Have we got any food in camp? I think we've got... Or do we have to fish before we get home? I think we're going to have to fish, aren't we? But restart's going to beat us to it, probably. Oh, we're nearly home. We might come back on after restart and get home. That might be worth doing. And then at least if I get any admin problems, I can spawn in safely, go into God mode and deal with them. We'll see. And we'll probably get wolves in here or maybe a bear. I bought Scum DLC. Chuckles that I can hardly recommend. Cost me about £5, so about $6 US. You spawn in with a baby rucksack, a kitchen knife, a first field dressing, a water bottle, a clove of garlic, and a tin of tuna, and clothes that are slightly different, that are either green for this environment, brown for desert, or white for snow. So I can highly recommend that. Also on our Scum server, I've made respawns in a sector of your choice cost nothing. Just have to wait for the line to go round, and then you can spawn in the same box that the base is in after you die. Just because I thought it was, we're using it the training server. People just having fun on there. It's kept to Discord members only because of the password. It's not like it's a massive server that's in the world, and we're not advertising it for other people to join. So it's a chance for us to learn how to play Scum. Having to run from one side of the map to the other doesn't really teach us how to play Scum. Learning how to grow vegetables, fish, and farm meat does. Favourite ticket of the day today. I just finished lunch and a ticket popped in, and I answered straight away on Goblin with a "How can I help?" and the reply was, "That was bloody quick," or words to that effect. It's like, yeah. Can we see home from here? Yes, is the answer. Bolotta. No, Mishkino, sorry, Mill. Yeah, we're not going to make it home. This will be get past Mishkino. Industrial. And then find somewhere to log out. I won't come back after the restart, guys. I streamed for 4.5 hours this morning. I did 7 hours, 8 hours yesterday streaming. I did 2.5 this morning, maybe 3.5. We've done another hour and a half now. We'll probably do 4 hours tomorrow morning, because I'll still wake up at 5 whether I like it or not. So might as well do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I can't really put washing on at home until other people are sort of starting to stir on a Sunday. It's not fair. So I'll say thank you for watching, and remember, if you've got a goblin in your sights, miss, and I will catch you in the next one.